Yo, what is up YouTube? It is Nate here coming at you with a brand new video on the channel. So today I'm going to be showing you guys how to have impact in your Fortnite montages. So I watch a lot of Fortnite montages and I see a lot of people putting unnecessary impacts in certain places that don't need impacts, and also some people use little impact, which doesn't make the montage look good. If you guys are excited for this tutorial, make sure you guys drop a like on this video. Make sure you guys are using code Nate in the Fortnite item shop to support me. And yeah, let's hop on into this video. Okay, so I marked where I want the shot to hit and where I want the impact to like start. I'm pretty much just going to be covering like time remap, kill effects, but the main thing I want to focus on is definitely impacts. Okay, so pretty much I have the audio all keyframed and everything, so now we're just going to go ahead and drag on our clip, and we're going to hover over where the marker is, and we're going to line it up with the shotgun shot. So let's go ahead and find where I shot him. And okay, so right about there is where I shot him, so we're going to go ahead and split the clip. Right here where I added the keyframe on the audio where it starts to fade out, I'm just going to cut it right there. And then I'm just going to go ahead and find out where the clip started. So the clip pretty much starts right here. So that means all of this excess audio right here doesn't need to be there. Okay, so right now, since I found out where I wanted to like start and where I wanted to end, I just pressed B where I wanted it to start, and then I'm going to go to the end of the clip and I'm going to press N. And then right on this gray spot right here where the marker is, I'm going to right click and hit trim comp to area. So that just makes it, smaller and easier to work with. Okay, so if we play this back, it'll look like this. Okay, so it hits the shotgun shot. So right here, when I pull out my shotgun, right before the edit, right before I edit and pull out the shotgun, I'm going to split this clip and we're going to time remap. So to time remap, you just hit Control Alt T, and I'm going to do that for both of these clips right here. And then I'm going to place a keyframe on each end. Same with the end of the clip. And it's not going to stop there, because what happens is there's going to be keyframes where the clip actually like begins, so you have to get rid of those. You can't see the keyframes on the comp because they're like far off the comp. So what you want to do is just click on your composition, like the preview. I go to composition settings, and then I just change the duration number up to something that's bigger than the actual song. So I'll make it like 2, and then I'll zoom in, and then that's where you see these keyframes right here, and then you just want to go ahead and delete those. And you can't see the one that's on this side, so you have to drag it over in order for the keyframe to appear, and then you just delete it. Now you could use the the audio that's already in the game and add like a swoosh over it, but usually what I like to do is I just like to mute the clips and add my own sound effects. So once you hover over them and hit F9 to easy ease them, or you can go ahead and like right click on the keyframes, go to keyframe assistant and then easy ease, then you click on it, go to the graph editor, and your graph is going to look like this. So for it to slow down, usually what I do is I drag this right one downward like that, and then I turn on frame blending. And then for this end clip right here, I usually do like an S curve. So it's going to look like this. Now, if you do it too low, it's going to reverse. So if it like goes like this and it dips down, it's going to start to reverse. So you want to make sure it's either slanted or like straight. Depends on how you want it. It's all personal preference. And then we're going to add frame blending to that, and then we'll play it back and see how it looks. So that's pretty much what it looks like. So sometimes I don't usually recommend frame blending, because with frame blending, it kind of like, I don't know, it makes the clip look weird when it like slows down, so it can like add extra frames to it. And it just looks all warped and distorted. So sometimes I like to use Knxte. Okay, so I just noticed that when the clip actually starts, there's a beat right on the clip. Just to make it look nice, you don't have to do this, but So right there, I'm going to add a marker where this part of the clip is, and then I'm going to split it, and then I time remapped it, which is Control Alt T, and then I'm going to go ahead and keyframe both of these, and then also delete the keyframes at the ends of the clip. And then you want to go ahead and just put it back. So yeah, it starts off like that, and then we're just going to go ahead and easy ease that, and we want it to slow down. So in order to make it slow down, we're going to highlight these, and we're going to drag this one downward. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and just adjust the graph so it's not, the frame blending is not like overpowered. Okay, so yeah, that's what it looks like. Okay, so that looks really nice. I like that. So now we're just gonna go ahead, and I like to keep my stuff really organized. So a friend actually taught me how to like organize my stuff so it's like easier on my PC. Shout out to Valos. We're gonna go ahead and pre-compose, but first you have to select all of your clips, including the song. Go to pre-compose, and I usually like to name this like edit. And then now we have a full comp right here. So right when it stops, I'm gonna go ahead and hit N right there, and I'm gonna trim it to work area. So pretty much this is the part where I want to have an impact. So usually what I do is just add an adjustment layer right here, and then split that. And I usually like to have it like 3 frames. So there's going to be impact right there, and then there's also going to be an impact all the way at the end of this clip right here. And then we can just go ahead and delete that. All right, so this is where we get to the impacts. So pretty much I just use shake. A lot of people use Twitch, but I don't use Twitch a lot. I usually just use shake and directional blur and pan and crop. That's usually how I do my impacts. But a lot of people like to use Twitch because Twitch is like everything. So I have my own specific preset for my impacts, which is shake imp 1, but I can just show you guys how I make this impact. So pretty much I have my amplitude at 12.00 or just 12. You can copy my settings if you want. I usually have my frequency at 30. You actually want it like really high just so you get that nice up and down shake. Usually my motion blur is at like 1.5. You want your warp X and Y to be reflect, because if you have it on like no, it like looks really bad. So you want to make sure you have both of those on reflect. Now with the X shake, you know, X is going left and right. You want to turn all of those off. You want to turn all of those off because you don't want it to go left and right. Unless you're doing like a left and right like shake transition or something with the left and right, then you know, you can use that. But we want like a, you know, up and down impact. So that's where Y comes in. Now with Y, I usually have it set to, I think this is like the default, so like 36 and then 1. So yeah, that's pretty much how I have it for the Y shake. Z shake, turn all of that off. And the tilt shake, you want to turn all of that off because you don't want it to tilt. Unless you're doing a tilt shake, I'll show you guys how to make that once we get to the actual end of the clip where I shoot the guy. So yeah, that was actually really nice. So that's what it looks like. You don't really need like directional blur or anything like that, just because it's already like motion blurred. So yeah, and then we're gonna add that same impact on the end of this clip. So I click on the shake from before, hit Control C, go to the end of the clip where I hit the guy and have the adjustment layer, and I just Control V it. Now you don't want it to like shake the whole time, so you want to keyframe it. So we're gonna keyframe the amplitude, and then we're gonna just drag it all the way to the end and make it 0. Actually, if it's really long, you want to make sure the impact is not too long. So we might want to drag this towards like the front. So So yeah, that was a nice little impact. And then after that, I add a tilt shake. So I have a preset for that. So mine is amazing tilt, and then I'll show you guys how that works. So pretty much I have my amplitude at like 38, but I need to change it. So I usually keep it at like around a 100 range, and then my frequency is 1.50. I also need to turn this down too. So sometimes you might want to have like the frequency at 1. You want to have like a really low frequency because you don't want it to like tilt like a lot. The phase I usually have 6.7. Z-dens is regular. Motion blur, you want to have it usually around like 1.3, 1.4. Once again, you want to have your warp X and Y at reflect. And then your X shake, you want to have that at 0. And then Z shake, pretty much have like these turned off. And then this is where you want this is where the tilt comes in. You want to have tilt shake at 0, and then 1, 7. Just pretty much copy my settings right there. That's for my tilt shake, and then I'll show you guys what it looks like. So you see how the little tilt at the end. So yeah, that's pretty much what it looks like. Now you can just let it stay like this, but usually what I'd like to do is I like to go and pan and crop it in the actual edit. So pretty much where I shoot the guy, you can either add transform or, you know, there's transform right here. I keyframe the scale, and then I scale it up to like 140, and then I go to the end. I either go to the end. It depends on how long the end part of the clip is, but I usually like to have it right here, and then I put it on 100. So yeah, so it does that, but you don't want it to look like that. It looks kind of choppy, kind of ugly. So I keyframe it, hit F9 to ease it, go into the graph editor, and usually my pan and crop impacts are like this. So yeah, it's like a nice quick pump. Nice quick pump. That's kind of what you want. And then at this part right here, I usually like to add another screen pump. It's not really much of a screen pump as much as it is like a pan and crop buildup. So I scale that part, then I go to the end and I scale this part. Actually, I move this in once so you can actually see it, and then I only do it like a little bit. So you want it to either match the same like what this started with, or you want to do a little bit less. So I usually like 137, and then hit F9, and I go in here, and this is usually my graph for the build up. So yeah, it builds up, and that's pretty much how it works. Then we're gonna go on to kill effects. So yeah, pretty much what I do for kill effects, I don't go crazy with the kill effects. Usually what I like to use is like tritone. Tritone's a really good one. So yeah, I use S tritone, and I actually have my own preset for the kill effect, and it's just like a red, like a really red kill. I use either like the soft one or like the really dark one, and then mix it with the source just a little bit. I usually have it like between 4 or 0.4 or 0.5, and I keyframe it, and then just hit U on your keyboard to bring up those keyframes. It's right here, and then you want it to fade out. So yeah, that's pretty much what that looks like. It's just like a red, like just a red screen pump kill effect. That's usually what it looks like. So yeah, I use tritone. We're just gonna get rid of tritone for now, and I also use lens blur, BCC lens blur. And so yeah, it's right here. So pretty much this is what I use for my second kill effect, which is BCC lens blur. So these are my you know, my settings for lens blur. If you want it, you can copy them. I do fast for the quality. The iris scale I do 7. Scale is both 100. Gamma is 99. Here's the iris. I don't have Z-map on. Noise I pretty much don't have on. There's highlights. Here's, I don't have post on. So yeah, those are pretty much all of my settings for BCC lens blur. And I usually just keyframe the iris scale. I usually like to go all the way to like the end, and I change it all the way down to 0. So yeah, it's just a blur effect. Just a blur effect pretty much. Now with that, you can also use exposure. Exposure is like a pretty basic like kill effect. I usually keyframe the exposure and then hit U, and then you want it to be kind of bright, but you don't want it to be too bright where it like blinds people. So I usually have it on like 75, 80, and then I go to like the middle part, and then I just set it back to 0. So yeah, it's just like a flash effect pretty much. You can make it brighter or, you know, darker. It all depends on what you want to do with it. So yeah, pretty much that's it. To top it all off, I usually just go ahead and add another adjustment layer, and to top it off I use RSMB. So I will show you my RSMB settings. So these are my RSMB settings. I keep my blur amount at like 20, my motion sensitivity at 70, and that's pretty much it for my RSMB settings. If you guys do want to follow along with this video, I will have the project file in the description below. If this video helped you out at all, make sure you guys drop a like on this video and hit that subscribe button and turn on those post notifications so you never miss the upload, because I drop some fire montages. Also, let me know in the comment section below what other tutorials you guys want to see from me. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Peace. That girl, she got on my clone. I told that little girl that she got it, she do better.